slide a blanket underneath your knees, and we'll meet on the hands and the knees in a tabletop position. Take a couple breaths here to arrive a little more fully into your body. And now in your hands and knees positions, make some shoulder circles. These can be very big and exaggerated shoulder circles going to the very end of each range of motion, or they can be more subtle, casual, gentle. And then change the direction of your shoulder circles. So what I'm curious about exploring today is, how do we take care of our backs when we're engaging with core work? So we've probably heard that core work is good for the back, to support the back. This can be true. It can also be, it can also overstress the low back. So how do we find that balance to really support and nourish the low back during the practice and after the practice? Pause your shoulder circles. Head to a child's pose. Maybe you take the knees wide, maybe they're narrow. So a child's pose or any other pose that feels restful to you and creates a little bit of expansion in the back of the body. If you would like a little more spaciousness, perhaps more intensity in your child's pose, you could creep the fingertips forward. You could also keep the hands on the mat, grounded at the palms. Take another cycle of breath in your child's pose. Full breath in, full breath out. At the end of your exhalation, come forward onto your hands and your knees. Walk the knees back under your hips, hands under your shoulders, and then tuck the toes under. Press into your hands and hover the knees up off of the mat. Pause in the body, keep moving the breath. Relax your face, soften your jaw. And in these longer holds, and in anything we do, rest when you need to. Especially if you feel a body part move from stress to strain. So muscle stress, yay! We want to stress it, we want to challenge it, we want to strengthen and stretch. Strain, less yay. Take another full breath in. And then exhale, place the knees down, head into child's pose or another resting pose. Rock forward towards hands and knees again, and we're going to do another round of the knee hover holds. And so you could choose that thing that we just did of just holding the modified plank with the knees up, or if you would like to experiment with some different movements in the shape, you could shift the knees from one side and then back through center and take the knees to the other side. Little twisting movement in the lower body. Your toes will need to figure out what the heck they're going to do about all that. And another option is to hover the knees and experiment with lifting one hand up, maybe taking the fingertips to the mat, and then shift the weight. Tent the fingertips of the other hand. You could even experiment with reaching one arm forward and then the other arm forward. If you haven't started holding or doing any of those movements, please start now. Take another round of breath. And then place the knees down, resting pose, either child's pose or something else that you like. Bring yourself up from your resting pose and then make your way down onto your back, sliding the blanket out of your way. Rewind, come back up. Bring yourself up if you are not already down, and let's roll down together. So legs straight, arms forward. Roll the body down onto the mat. We're doing this so that we have a chance to connect the lower back to the mat. And then you can lay down for a moment. Rest before we begin. The movement is going to be a hollow body with optional can-can. What does that mean? It means this. So aim to move the low back towards the mat. Doesn't need to be a really dramatic cranking of the low back down, but an impulse of pressing the low back towards the mat. Reach the arms forward. Lift the head and the shoulders. Reach towards the toes. And then bend the knees, place the toes on the mat. Keep the low back anchoring towards the mat. Maybe this is plenty here. Staying and holding this shape from here. You can add more intensity by bringing the arms up, maybe even up overhead. You can also play with extending one leg, the other leg, bend knee, toe down, bend knee, toe down, and can from side to side. And if you want to do full hollow body, then you can extend the legs out in front of you, maybe even bring the arms overhead. Lots of options, handful of options. Start now. Few more cycles of breath. Stay here for another inhale. And then exhale, release. Ease yourself down onto the mat. Rest. Collect your breath. And then bring yourself up using your elbows and your forearms. So like you're just kick back at the park or at the beach, by the lake, anywhere else you could imagine. For some reason, parking lot came up for me. Don't know why you want to be like this in a parking lot. probably wouldn't, but you are welcome to choose your venue. So support yourself on the forearms, point the toes, and now we're going to do leg kicks, focusing on one leg at a time. So let's start together by doing 10 leg kicks with the right leg. As you're ready, steady, go. One. That's it. Second side, left leg, 10 kicks. As you're ready. Rest when you've done your 10. Let's do the right side again. As you're really, how much you kick is up to you. That's going to depend on how warm the back of your leg, how warmed up the back of the legs are feeling, how the front hip flexors are firing right now. But notice where you experience the work in the belly, in the core area. Point the toes. If you'd like, you could even anchor the straight leg. They're both straight. The left leg down, so press the heel into the floor. We'll focus on the right leg. Kick 10 times. That was 10 for me. Was that 10 for you? If it was, then anchor the right leg down now. So press the leg down, and then 10 kicks on the left side. Pause when you're done. Roll yourself down. And we will finish up with another hollow body. So the options remain. The optional thing is, the non-optional part is the lifting of the upper body. You could reach forward at an angle up over your ears, bend the knees, tops of the toes down. You could continue to lift up, draw the low back down, and hold here. You could can the legs, so straighten, straighten, bend, bend. You could do that with the arms overhead. You could straighten both legs out. Up to you. Get on with it. Let's pause for one more round of breath. Inhale fully. And exhale, ease yourself down. Bend the knees. Draw the knees towards your chest. Squeeze the knees in for a couple cycles of breath here. Invite those front hip flexors to relax. And then drop your knees over to the left. Open the right arm out to the side. If you would like to bring a blanket under or between the legs, please do that. Create some full expansive breaths here. So massage the inner body Massage the inner abdominal sheath with the breath. Take one more expansive breath in. And then exhale, change sides, roll the back of your pelvis across the mat, drop your knees to the right, left arm to the other side, maybe bring in a prop. Take a couple more cycles of breath, massaging the viscera with your breathing movements. And at the end of an exhalation, roll onto your side. Bring yourself up into a seat. Place a hand onto your belly, place the other hand onto your chest. Send some gratitude to your body for its strength, for its support, for its willingness. And extend a healthy dose of gratitude to your whole self for prioritizing you today. Thank you.